Hey everybody, the balance patch is out, or at least the notes, so we're going to go over them real quick, just give you sort of my thoughts on how it's going to affect the RTA meta, and hopefully my predictions will prove correct. If not, get what you pay for. So anyway, so yeah, we'll go over these real quick. Okay, first up, Dark Mage nerfing the HP absorb. I think that's mostly going to be a siege change because she's not used heavily in RTA, so I don't think that's going to be that crazy for RTA. Yeah, I don't think that's an RTA change at all. I mean, it sucks that she got nerfed, but I guess she was really good in RTA, or sorry, in siege, so whatever. Beast Rider increases attack speed by 15%, goes to 10%, so basically it's going to stack 50% of her base attack speed is, or sorry, 75% now down to 50% at max stack, which is generally almost instantaneous. So her base speed is 126, so she'll be going from approximately 90 extra speed down to approximately 60 extra speed. So a really good Masha is now going to be down to 360 from 390. Okay, so it's like kind of a little bit of a nerf. I don't think it's that, honestly, I don't think most people are even going, like most people, if someone was like, hey, did you change this? They're not gonna even notice. So this is like a small nerf because honestly, she is everywhere in the meta, which sort of implies she's OP currently, but by the numbers, her win rate isn't actually that insane. So this might just be them like trying to nerf her like barely to see if it changes her without like completely gutting her. So maybe this is a good change. Whatever, I'm glad to see her get nerfed either way because I don't really like her, but I don't think it's going to change that much. All right, big change. Water Light on Myoji not being able to target itself. That is going to be kind of a big deal, especially like in the, Shizuka, like the 1v1 Shizuka situations. So this is mostly a Shizuka nerf. I think it will be a big deal because I think Onmyoji in particular seems to use its skill on itself a lot. So this actually is kind of a big deal. Whether or not this will actually drop her meta relevance or drop her win rate, I'm not sure if it will. I mean, clearly it will. Any nerf will change her in that way, but I think it's going to be more affected by other stuff in the meta than, like, Shizuka's win rate is going to be affected more by other changes than by this change. But it's still good. I think it's still good. Light on Myoji buff, specifically to counteract the fact that they nerfed her with the other one. I'm not sure that this matters. I mean, no, sorry. This buff does matter. The other nerf probably doesn't matter that much because does Light on Myoji, like, does she even target herself really with the other skill? Not really. But so the other nerf was technically a nerf, and so they buffed her to make up for it, except the other nerf really wasn't a nerf for Light on Myoji anyway, so whatever. All right, re-nerfed Water Ryu and Ken. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, he was taking over the meta as well, so this is probably a good nerf because now he can't full turn cycle quite as easily, so this is probably a good change, as much as I hate to see Water Ryu get nerfed. Let's see, Dark Striker now has a strip. So he has a strip on his 5th hit instead of increasing duration of harmful effects. So this is more of a change than a nerf. It does make him an actual AE stripper. The only problem is that I feel like that makes him worse. I feel like this is actually not really a buff because the other one, like whenever he could increase duration twice, like he did really degenerate things like making stuns last for 3 turns on like an entire enemy team. Now he strips and then increases duration. But the thing is that I'm pretty sure the way Despair works means that he will already have attempted to land. I don't know the interaction with Despair and immunity. Like if he strips, I don't know if it'll do the immunity check on that next hit or not. In which case, this could actually be kind of crazy for a Despair build, but I don't have one, so I'm not... Honestly, I haven't ever had to test this, because there's very few situations where you could really tell. If he can now strip into a... Like, for instance, if he has the 25% Despair chance on the hit that strips, instead of, like, it firing off into immunity on hits 1 through 4 or whatever. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me check. Sorry, I gotta check this. I think only his first AE hit might only be that 5th hit. So in which case he can do a 2-turn Despair into a strip. So this might actually be insane. Just from a like RNG messing with everybody perspective. One moment. The first 3, remove a beneficial on an enemy and stuns. Afterwards, attacks all enemies 2 times. Oh no, so this actually is kind of insane. So he can't be complete degenerate anymore. Like he can't do a 3-turn stun, but now he has a chance to 2-turn stun through Despair, which is a little bit crazy. So I don't know. This is a little bit of a buff and a little bit of a nerf. Like he doesn't have the win more capability of like doing a 3-turn stun, but now he can AE Despair. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, Druid buffs. Basically they buffed all the Druids now to whatever the special effect they did when in Druid form now works in Bear form, or Beast form. Sorry. Most of these not that crazy. Wild Cures, 15% attack bars, like whatever. The defense break is nice on the fire one. The 25% absorb on fire, this will actually make him quite a bit better. I'll be very curious to try him out, because now, like in RTA, whenever you AE an entire enemy team, you can now steal a full attack bar if you land everything. So now this is a 100, it's like a turn cycle if he's hitting an entire enemy team. So that's actually super good. So that's really nice, because now he's going to be a little bit better into like comboing for himself, so you can more reliably build him on something that's not violent to get that 1-2 punch of AE armor breaking with a follow-up. So he basically works kind of like how Maximilian works. So that's really nice. I think you're going to see him a decent bit more. I mean, the problem is they're still like kind of slow, and he is fire, so it's not quite as consistent as something like a Maximilian, but that's a big change in my opinion. Druid, increased defense even when in beast form. So they just applied deep. So now you're just going to be going up against like a permanent defense buff probably from Wind Druid. I don't know if that's enough to make him used in RTA though. So Volantis, so he gets buffed, but they also nerfed Volantis. So now he has a 40% revenge chance. So he's still going to be RN. So I mean, now he's only as consistent as Triple Revenge Bird instead of more consistent. So I'm not sure. I feel like that's not going to stop anyone from using him, except there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to complain because now it's a 40% instead of a 50%. But I don't think anyone's going to actually draft him less because of that change. It's probably better overall because now he's not a literal coin flip every single time you hit him. Yeah, so now he's not going to be as consistent obviously as an anti-cleave unit. But considering the rest of his kit, that's probably good. And also I don't like him, so I'm biased. Let's see, Pater buff. So Dark Druid increases attack bar when you get granted with an ability effect. So Pater is going to be actually insane now. Because now you're going to if Gianna, now he himself is an anti-Gianna, basically. Before he wasn't necessarily, because you could do other things and but now he's going to cut whenever you CC him. So Pater, you're going to see probably quite a bit. And then in addition, more immunity, because he gets it whenever during beast form as well. It's kind of sick. So I think Pater will actually get used now in that like kind of in the pseudo Abellio role, where he's specifically stopping certain types of cleaves, in this case CC cleave. Because you stun him, he's gonna cut, break out, cleanse everybody, that sort of thing. So Pater buff is actually quite good, especially considering he was never used. He might be the most annoying druid now. Nah, it's still gonna be Abellio, but he might be there. Let's see, Fire Shadowcaster. Shadow protects you for 1 turn after using the skill. So Destructive Shadow, is that so that's his AE. So now you get the shadow protection after he uses his 3rd skill. So now he gets shadow protection after his 3rd and his 2nd skill. So he's gonna be really hard to kill. Except that what this really is, though, is because he absorbs so much attack bar. What this means is that he's going to have. It's mostly going to let him do more damage when he cycles off of his skill 3. So this is actually more of a DPS change than a protection change. Although I guess if you're using it into an immune team, like so if they're on full will, basically if he biffs his 3rd skill into a team with immunity, now he's going to be protected against the first attack afterwards. So this is a nice change because it's a little bit of a buff. I don't know if it's what he really needs, but maybe this is just going to be OP, because like in a 1v1 situation, now he's going to be insane. Like in a fire, like him versus anybody else 1v1, he's going to get shadow protected after every turn he takes, basically, or most of them. So this is cool. He's gonna probably get used more. Maybe it makes him more viable for a slow build instead of a swift build. But it's mostly going to be if you draft him to outspeed and try to take advantage of a fast, take advantage of base speed to hit off will people. This is going to protect him whenever he biffs it, which is nice, I guess. See, Wind Shadowcaster removes 1 beneficial. Now it's a full strip. Okay, so now it's a full stripper. His base speed's nice enough you can kind of use that. This might actually be pretty good. Like I could see a Wind Shadowcaster. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this actually makes him better as a non-Swift unit, because now you can use him as a follow-up, like / disruptor. Because before you kind of had to build him Swift because you only could remove will, but. Yeah, it's a nice change. Like going from a 1 strip to a full strip. Now just do it for next com to us, please. See, Windlight, Shadowcaster, Shadow Tie. But so now he turn cycles. So, but well, okay. So they make him take a turn, but they increase the max cooldown time. So it's not a buff inherently to Shadow Tie itself, like in terms of cycling it more. It's mostly just a buff. So now you can cycle your 3rd turn, and also he gets to attack. So this is cool. I mean, this is gonna let him get used more. Like both of these things make me kind of happy about Wind Shadowcaster. I definitely am gonna give him another attempt and see how he works, because I like turn cycling. I like the one problem is because it's an increased attack bar, he gets nerfed by Tianlang, but I don't know. Like generally these are better because like the increased attack bar by 100% because they combo better with violent, or not violent, sorry. They combo better with things like despair because it doesn't mess up your violent chances for other units. But in addition, you then get hosed by stuff that messes with attack bar. So whatever, cool change. And also it lets him use his 3rd skill more. Just the turn cycling in general is going to be a buff to his 3rd skill from his 2nd skill, and it's a buff to the light one as well, which actually is pretty cool for the light one. I guess that's an understated buff to the light one, because the light one's used more for like cleaving / damage dealing. So this means that the light one can now be built damage and actually get some more effect. I think Shun might be really cool after the patch due to this. Definitely want to see people use that. Let's see. When Sky Surfer, so here's a big one. Nerf to Oliver. Increases damage dealt to the move 10% each up to 50% whenever you use Mega Impulse Gun. This is barely a nerf. No one's going to stop using because of this. Oliver also had the situation where he's really good, but by the numbers, his win rate isn't that crazy. It's still good. It's still like one of the better ones, especially for a unit that's picked that much. So I feel like whoever is balancing at Comp2Us decided they wanted to see if they could get his usage rate down without just absolutely gutting him. And so they're trying to cut little pieces off of him and see if he fits in the meta hole that they built for him. But I don't think this is going to do it. Because I once again, kind of like the Masha change, most people are not even going to be able to notice this, like, the vast majority of the time. Like, it's going to be noticeable, but it's not, for a unit that just makes them never get to take a turn, like, okay, now it makes him less consistent again because he's not going to kill them as fast. Okay, Light Sky Surfer stuns all enemies for one turn with 50% chance, and now Light Sky Surfer is going to be great because now he does the other stuff he did before. But he also has a built-in stun chance. So, I mean, giving anything an additional stun chance, especially on an AE, kind of sick. The fact it's on an LD, also kind of sick. The fact it's on an LD with ATB changing stuff, also sick. I believe he also has the skill 2 turn cycling skill. So he's going to get to do this more. I think we're definitely going to see Daniel. Also, anyone with Daniel needs to try this out because I feel like that makes him very viable now. Let's see, Water Ifrit. So Theomars gets attack power when he receives fatal attacks. I feel like this is actually more of like a siege thing because no one's going to use him in RTA still, but maybe, who knows. Okay, Wind Dark Ifrit decreases attack power of the target by 50% if the target's not stunned. So basically, he's now a guaranteed CC or pseudo CC in CC cleave. So like you could if you're cleaving somebody. So they're both really good disruptors now because you're either going to get. So what I actually think is going to happen is, based on how usually these things work, is that effect of decreasing attack bar if the target's not stunned might be an additional effect that happens after the initial hit. So this might work even if he glances. So Wind Ifrit might. So you may not have any elemental issues using Wind Ifrit with this, which would be kind of cool because it makes them slightly more viable. Like for using, more dependable on a cleave is nice. The problem is the Wind one's usually used for DPS, so this is mostly a buff to Veramos, and it's a really kind of nuts one because now if you either stun them or you get a 50% attack bar. So it's kind of makes him consistent, right? And not only that, it actually makes him more consistent because now you have the chance to stun, and even if you miss the resist check, you get a second resist check to do a secondary CC effect. So that's actually makes him very good. So this change actually kind of nuts. I don't know how many people are going to try to fit Veramos into a cleave, but that's pretty neat. Okay, Tempest passive decreased cooldown time. Not a huge change. Cool. I mean, whatever. Nice. Try it. I don't think this is going to be meta affecting at all. Big one to Dominic. So instead of dealing 200% attack power damage, he deals 100% attack power damage. And then they got rid of the ATB absorb, so he can't cycle as much. The damage increases by 100% if hit point exceeds 50. So basically, if he's high hit points, he deals if he's high hit points, he deals just as much damage as he did before. So this doesn't change his ability to violent, to two-shot somebody with a violent chance on the first turn. I would want to see if that attack increases damage by 100%. If that just makes it go back to where it was before with the 200%, then that's fine. If it actually increases his total attack damage by 100%, if his hit point's above 50%, I feel like it only increases that other 100%, like the normal. It takes it back to where it was before. If it increases his total damage to be double, he's going to be absolutely bonkers now, but I don't think that's how it's going to work. And then in addition, so there's no buff So he has less sustain, he has less turn cycle, he has the same first turn kill potential. So you're gonna see, I think, more damage dealing Dominic's. I don't know. Basically, it makes him less durable. So this is a pretty big nerf, I think, actually, because he's gonna have less turn cycling and he's gonna do less damage on average. And he's going to heal less, because when he's below 50%, he's only going to be doing 100% ATB damage, or sorry, attack power damage, and then recovering the same percentage. So he's going to heal less. So he's going to do less damage and heal less when he's below 50%. Okay. Weapon Master Light deals damage to ignores defense. So he can now cleave, or he can now kill people through death resistance. And he always ignores defense. Damage that ignores defense will be... I don't know if they ever even said how much defense damage. Like, what does that even mean? Because the issue with that is it didn't specify before. So it just says deals damage that ignores defense. So I thought that always applied to the entire attack, but apparently not. Oh no, sorry, the ignores defense is only on that additional attack that he does. Okay, so that's not... Okay, whatever. They don't specify how much they're going to be changing that by, so that who knows how good that's going to be. But he always ignores defense, so that means you can use him on first turn, which is much better, obviously. So big change to the Ginger Brave, increases skill cooldown by 2 turns. Nice. So he's going to be way more viable now. Like, this is like Ginger Brave you're going to see everywhere, I think, now. Like, you're going to see him a lot. Let's see, cookie buffs finally. So Hollyberry, they all instead of provoking, they now decrease defense for 2 turns. So now they're like more offensive, because you're going to be defense breaking them, because they all kind of did stuff that already was fairly defensive. So maybe they didn't need the taunt also. Fire. So yeah. So they're now going to be better for just like hitting people and like attempting to get kills. Fire Hollyberry, attack speed decreases by 20% until the next turn starts. This is so you can build them on Swift, and then it stays defense mode for longer. So we kind of asked for this. I think 20% isn't enough. I'd rather see like 50%, but at the same time, maybe that's because they want you to be more active with them, instead of it just being a passive as a unit. Creates a shield that's proportional to max hit points. So that goes to defense. Nice. Okay, so now you can build it on defense, and then get a big shield. And then get more effectiveness because it's on defense. So that's a good change. Let's see, Light Hollyberry, each attack recovers hit points of all allies. So this just literally makes it heal. So now you can build the light one on damage. I don't know. I mean, it makes it cooler. This is cool. I like all these passive heal abilities. We're gonna see how. I mean, now you can build it on revenge technically. Like a revenge DPSer, and maybe get big heals. I don't know, we'll have to see how well you can actually build these things on damage. So Water Dark Hollyberry. Instead of removing a harmful and increasing attack bar, so instead of it being an attack bar buffer, it now turns it into Recon. So it gets defense and becomes immune, and then gets an additional turn. The water one doesn't really have any abilities to cycle. So this is mostly just to let it always have. I think this is permanent immunity, permanent defense buff, and then the water one revenges. So or pseudo revenges. So this makes the water one do more damage. So now the water one's like a pseudo cleave revenger thing. I don't know. That one will be very interesting to see. It's gonna be super annoying though in either case. And then the dark one skill lets it cycle its 2-turn invincibility faster. So the dark one's gonna be really annoying too, but I don't know. Dark one clearly was not used anywhere in the meta. Maybe it will be now, so cool. But this is a good change. probably, because that skill 2 was really bad. The water one you're going to see everywhere, I'm pretty sure. Especially combined with the armor break and the fact I believe it does defense % damage. Yeah, it deals more damage according to defense. So now these guys are gonna, like, water one's just gonna like revenge for a ton of damage now, especially with armor breaks. Yeah, that one's gonna be kind of nuts. Espresso, cookie, black tea, bunny, grinding. If the enemy's attack bar is 0, you're guaranteed to freeze the target, ignores resistance. So the black tea bunnies. So they have a 60% ATB reduction, and then they have a 30% stun chance. So now if you can get them down to 0 ATB, you're guaranteed to freeze and stun. So this is actually a pretty good effect, because now you can build them on, well, I mean, you still want them on accuracy because you need to reduce ATB, but they have 3 chances. So if you're following up a full ATB reduction, you now have three chances, even with 0 accuracy, to basically stun them, even if it's like a low chance. So this is actually, might make the dark one pretty useful, actually. Yeah, these are both gonna be kind of cool. I think you might see these, especially like in Special League. I'm not sure if this is good enough to get used in Normal League, but we'll give it an attempt later. Black Tea Bunny, Firelight, hit point loss, extraction. So that's the second skill. Tax the enemy to set the enemy's attack bar to 0. Decrease the target hit point by 30%. Okay, so it's just a buff to the damage. Okay, so I don't know if that's gonna matter either, but maybe I don't know. This might be more OP than I think it is, but it's a minor buff overall, so maybe not. Okay, Black Tea Bunny, skill order effect change. So it attacks all enemies and evens out the ratio afterwards. So this one evens out the ratio first. So basically it evens them out, then deals damage. So this is going to require another shot at actually trying it out. This one I can't even predict how that's going to feel early, because that one's going to require testing, I think, because a lot's going to depend exactly. Like for instance, if you do a full ATB reduction so that you get them down to like 50% and then deal damage. But yeah, I think it's way better, obviously, especially because that's it's a 3 hit, so you can abuse additionals with it. Yeah, I think that's a good change. I still think it's a weird skill, so it may not be very good, but it at least makes it better. Okay, so that one's cool. We need to give that one a shot. Okay, so Fire Sylphid. So now it just has a passive, decrease the effects of ATB reduction. So now this is sort of like your free-to-play anti-CC cleave unit. Pretty neat. Will it get used? I don't know. That one's a little weird. I don't know how many people actually use this, but I mean, it's nice, and especially in Special League, it'll be nice. So now they changed it around. So now instead of this is like an ATB buff, it's just a heal. So Fire Sylphid's gonna be a lot better as an actual healer. Okay, cool. Fire Sylphid. Maybe this might be stealth OP. Let's see. Horus, decrease skill cooldown time, so you're gonna be able to use it more. Pretty awesome, especially combined with the buff immediately following it. This is the ATB reduction / pushback skill 2. So now Dark Horse is, in addition, a really RNG stripper. This is mostly used to. This is going to make him more annoying on like arena defense, and then like more fun in Special League. But it mostly is going to make him feel super RNG and annoying, because you basically get a 15% chance to like get stunned all the time, like 7.5% chance with Will on. It's gonna be so annoying. Okay, buff to Chicklid, basically rebuffed it, so now it's a 2-turn skill cooldown, so it makes her consistent, and also you can't be violented out of. That's really good. So Chicklid's gonna be another turn 1 super, like, you know, like pseudo Sekhmet, or not even a pseudo Sekhmet, like literally just Sekhmet. Let's see, Fire Pirouette, increased attack speed, leader skill. So now she's going to be a lot more viable in a lot more situations, especially since she's a strip. Like, she was already kind of like a pseudo Gianna, so this is a really big change. Water Pirouette change, I think, is mostly just to make her better in dungeons. So that's actually kind of nice. So she's now kind of like Lucian-ish for dungeon usage, but I'm not a big Water Pirouette guy, so whatever. This is just an AI change. Now, so Occult Girls can no longer get the additional turn whenever the enemy gets slept, whenever you kill them. So that's, I mean, like, that was always a little bit weird, but I mean, it's fine. Okay, that's just a change to Soul Protection. So I think now you can actually strip a Soul Protect and still kill them. I think that's what it is. So nice. Madeline Cookie. Okay, that's just a, yeah, these are like minor changes. Light Joker didn't get bomb damage from the artifact. Okay. Oh, and these things didn't affect their own skill, which I guess it was supposed to? Interesting. Okay, so that's a little bit of a change. But I don't have Rune Blacksmith Light, sad. So. Anyway, that's it for the patch overview. Thanks for watching. This went a little bit long, and I mostly rambled, but this is like an experimental video, so hopefully you enjoy it. All right, have a good one, everybody.